Do you struggle to get through the ball? Would you like to improve the quality and the consistency of your golf shots? Well, if that sounds like you, then the ideas and the concepts I'm going to share in today's video will undoubtedly benefit you. What I'm going to tell you, you'll likely not have heard of before, but once you try this, you'll find that hitting those consistently compressed shots becomes easier than you ever thought possible. So as somebody who struggles to get through the ball, what you're really lacking is the necessary weight transfer that happens in the downswing and into impact that's demonstrated universally by all great ball strikers. That weight movement towards the target is often represented as a hip movement, a hip slide or a hip sway. And whilst that may be true, some golfers really struggle to feel how their hips should move through the ball. The term surf the shins was something I first came across when I was scrolling through Instagram and came across the feed of Alex Moore Golf. Alex posts some really interesting content, and if you're a golf swing geek like I am, I'd encourage you to give him a follow. Alex was posting surf the shins along with pictures and videos of golfers moving their lower body towards the target. But instead of focusing on the hips, the focus was more on the lower limbs, the ankles, the shins and the knees, and how they would surf, slide or glide towards the target. I thought that was really interesting, and that it could be something that would help a lot of golfers to get this necessary weight shift in the downswing that they don't always see. It was also interesting to me to see how many golfers made this movement if you were a good ball striker, and how many lacked it if you struggled to hit the ball consistently. So if you tell me that you're not getting through the ball, I'm going to tell you that you're not getting your weight far enough forward by the time you hit the ball. And that's the important distinction here. Getting the weight far enough forward by impact is the key. Why do golfers struggle to get the weight forward by impact? Well, I think one of the reasons, and one of the valid reasons, is they've been told to open up the hips in the downswing. That's a common thing you'll see on the internet. Teachers telling you to open your hips in the downswing. That's a problem, because really what happens in the downswing is the first movement is forward and the second movement is more of the turn. And yet golfers don't get that first piece in fast enough, soon enough, or ever often enough to have the weight far enough forward to be able to compress the ball and make the consistent contact that you desire. So if you're trying to open up your hips in the downswing, you quite literally rob yourself of that ability to surf the shins forwards. You can't get the weight far enough forward. So the exercise I'm going to share with you here is going to help you to train the necessary early movement of the weight in the downswing and by the time you hit the ball. Very important distinction, weight forward at impact. And just to say, weight forward is not a stack and tilt thing. Weight forward is an everybody thing. This is demonstrated by any great golfer you want to pull up on the screen. We can look at world number one, Scotty Scheffler, who surfs his shins probably better than anybody else in the world right now. But everybody does this. This is Charles Howell III demonstrating it. This is Adam Scott, one of the greatest players to play the game and won millions of dollars moving the shins forward in the downswing. You can even go into the archives and look at swings of the greatest players of all time. Seve used to surf his shins, as did the greatest players, Hogan and Snead. So there's no shortage of evidence that this happens. You don't need to be convinced by now, I hope, that this happens. What you need to know is how to do it. So here we go. The drill that you need to ensure that you move your weight forward in the downswing is an extension of my hit hard, stop quick drill. Hopefully many of you will have seen that, but for those of you that haven't, this is a drill where we swing down, hit the ball, hit the ground, and stop just after impact. Stopping just after impact allows me to focus exclusively on this surfing of the shins to that point. I've already said we have to get the weight forward in time for impact. So by stopping at or just after impact, as the momentum of the club gets slowed down, I want to have my shins towards the target. My legs are going to be closer to the target than when they started. Try that without a ball a couple of times. Familiarize yourself with that movement. Remember, it's more of a surf than it is a twist. Surfing the shins towards the target, hitting hard and stopping quickly. Once we've done that a few times and you've got a sense of what you're trying to do, we can start hitting balls out there with that short finish and an exclusive focus on surfing the shins. So my legs are much closer to the target there than where they started. That follow through was actually probably a little bit longer than I would typically tell someone to do in the beginning. I'd start out by just doing these even smaller ones, keeping the emphasis on that lower body. It's the lower body movement here that's going to move the low point of your swing sufficiently forward and allow you to make that compressed contact that you're looking for. Better contact, more ball speed, more consistent contact so you don't fat and thin shots as often, is all going to come from this movement. There's a reason why every golfer that's ever been any good and that's walked on this planet has made this movement. There's a real strong reason that golfers have found a way to do this. So surf the shins, hit hard, stop quick, check that the legs have gone forward, and notice from this down the line camera how there's not much opening or rotation at all. That's extremely important to pay attention to. These little chippy shots out there, good contact, not much speed at the moment, but learning the most important part of getting the weight forward. As you progress through this exercise, you can certainly start to swing further through, but make sure that your emphasis and your focus is on surfing those shins. That was a faster swing. I've gone a little bit further through, and as you'll see from down the line, as I go further through, there's a natural opening of the hips, a greater opening of the hips that starts to happen. That's perfectly okay. You just don't want to be forcing that in the downswing. The hips open up in the follow through far less than a lot of people think. So focusing on the sway of the surf is way more vital than focusing on the turn. That shot 6 inches after the ball. My low point was 6 inches after the ball. That was a 140-yard chip shot with a 7-iron. You'll see that shot starting to get higher, longer, very functional push draw. So if you want to improve your ball striking, if you want to finally get through the ball like all the best players do, like all the people that you play with who hit the ball better than you, then implementing surfing the shins into your practice and into your play is something that I'm pretty sure will help you. And of course, before I finish, the question you're all asking is, well, that's great. Does it work for the driver? Well, like usual, the answer is going to be yes, and it may surprise you to know that you really would want to surf your shins as much with the driver as with any other club. Also, let's answer the question while we're here of does this work for the hybrid and does it work for the fairway wood? I'll pull up some swings on screen of professional golfers hitting a hybrid and hitting a fairway wood, very clearly demonstrating the surf the shins concept. When it comes to driver, I want to talk about why this is so important and actually stop so many of you from making the error that you're currently doing, which is thinking you're supposed to keep your weight back when you hit driver to try to lift the ball up in the air, to hit up on it. If your shins don't surf, you're going to find you're too far back. You start swinging across the ball and slicing. Here's an example of one of the best drivers of the golf ball in the world, Rory McIlroy, very clearly demonstrating the surf the shins concept. So the lower body still moves forward in the driver. That's news to a lot of people. And if you're trying to stay on your back foot, you're probably going to be creating greater problems with your driver than you realize. So same idea from the top, surf the shins towards the target. Legs stay straight, knees move towards the target, shins surf towards the target, ankles move in that direction as well. I would just start with a similar drill to the one that we've already done, the hit hard, stop quick drill. It's a little harder to manage with the driver because the swing's faster, so it requires a little bit more effort on your part to put this into practice. But the same is true in terms of the concept of what we're trying to do. Swing back, hit hard. Surf the shins. Notice how far forward my knees are, my shins are from where I started. And we're going to punch balls out there just like that. I can hit up on the ball, 2 degrees up with that one, slightly upward angle of attack with a low point that was behind the ball because I've changed the location of the ball position. But the swing, the motion of the swing, the surfing of the shins and the hips forward that we've talked about for so long is still in existence with the driver. Slightly different delivery of the club because of the ball position, but I'm not really trying to make a different swing. I wanted to clarify that with you before we finish. So if you're somebody who struggles to get through the ball, make consistent contact, surfing your shins is really a great idea. It's something that all great players do. And hopefully with this newfound idea and concept, you can take this to the practice ground, the driving range and the golf course and start to see some of the best ball striking of your life. So to summarize, if you truly want to get through the ball, you need to have your weight forward by the time you hit the ball. That's true whether you're thinking about sliding the hips, surfing the shins, or potentially something completely different. I don't mind what you think about, as long as you're getting that weight far enough forward. If you enjoyed the video today, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd love you to get down into the comments and let me know what you thought about this video. I really enjoyed making it, and I'd love to hear from you if you have a different swing thought that gets you to transition from the backswing to the downswing and get that weight far enough forward by impact. If you do think about something different, get down in the comments, let me know. I'd love to read it, and I'm sure the other viewers would love to read it as well. So now you know that weight forward at impact isn't a stack and tilt thing, it's an everybody thing, and it's why everybody's doing stack and tilt. If you want to learn the drill that I use to get the weight forward at impact, then you can click the video I made here, which is called Crush the Can. It talks about the movement of the lead shoulder and the lead knee in transition to get that weight down and forward. Or if you want to learn more about the hit hard, stop quick drill that I used in today's video, you can watch the full length video on that drill right here.